Today is chapter 3.9, which is kind of like the follow-up to yesterday, right? Yesterday we learned to add decimals using place value. And of course today we are going to learn how to subtract decimals using place value. Just like we talked about yesterday, we've learned how to use modeling and base 10 blocks to help us add and subtract. So today we're just thinking about how we can use what we know about place value to subtract decimals. Here's our starting problem. Hannah has 3 3/36 kilograms of apples and 2 28 kilograms of oranges. Hannah estimates that she has about 1 more kilogram of apples than she has of oranges. How many more kilograms of apples than oranges does Hannah have? How can you use this estimate to decide if your answer is reasonable? So let's first figure out what operation do we need to use to solve this problem? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division, and how do you know? Soham?
Subtraction, because we have to find out how many apples she has more of the orange.
You're right, we need to use subtraction, but I'm going to be very picky and let's clarify something. Are we trying to figure out how many more apples she has compared to how many oranges she has? Am I counting the number of apples?
No.
I want to know how much more kilograms of apples she has compared to her kilograms of oranges. So you're right, we need to use subtraction. Hannah knows how to do this. She knows that first she needs to make an estimation so she knows if her answer is in the right zone or not. So let's go back and look at the problem. What was Hannah's estimation? She estimated that she had a certain amount more apples than oranges. What was her estimation? Joseph?
1.
She has estimated that she has about 1 more kilogram of apples than oranges. Let's see if our actual answer will be in the zone of 1 kilogram. Okay? So in order to subtract using place value, we'll do exactly the same thing we did when we were adding using place value. We have to line up all the digits of the place value. You can see here we've lined up the ones in green. We've lined up the decimal point. We've lined up the tenths. And we've lined up the hundredths. Do you see how they're a little bit not lined up? That's because when a computer typed it, it got a little bit skewed. But for the most part, do you see how the digits are lined up? Very good. If everything is lined up, then we can start subtracting. Of course, we start on the which side?
Right.
The very right-hand side, yep. So I'm going to do 6 hundredths minus 8 hundredths. And I get negative 2 hundredths.
No.
Is that technically true?
Yes.
But is that what we want to do?
No.
What do we want to do instead, Adam? Adam, how do I regroup?
You take from a tenth you cross down and make it 2.
So I need to trade 1/10 and turn it into what?
2 tenths.
But then when I take that 1/10 away,
You put it in the hundreds, so it'd be like 16.
so 1/10 I can trade it in for how many hundredths? 10. So if I have 10 hundredths plus 6 hundredths, how many hundredths do I have altogether? 16 hundredths. Okay, now let's subtract. 16 hundredths minus 8 hundredths is how many hundredths? 8 hundredths. Now I have 2 tenths minus 2 tenths is how many tenths? 0 tenths. And 3 ones minus 2 ones is 1. Oh, decimal point. So she has 1 800ths of an apple more than she has oranges. No? But it says 1 800ths. Daniel, what am I doing now? Oh, so I need to make sure I label it correctly, because if I don't label it, it could be 1 800ths donuts or 1 800ths cats. What we're talking about here is 1 800ths kilograms. Okay. How can we use our original estimate to see if this answer is reasonable? Nathan?
If we see that the estimate is around the same as our actual answer, then we know it's
Yeah.
correct.
Hannah's estimate was 1 kilogram. Is this in the zone? Yeah, so we know that our answer is reasonable. Let's talk about a different way to check our answer, though. We can, of course, use our estimate to see if our answer is reasonable, but how else can we be checking our answers to really be confident and say, yes, I did my subtraction correct? Harshita?
You could also use base 10 blocks.
I could use base 10 blocks to draw a picture. Let's do that. So, remind me again, how many kilograms of apples did Hannah have?
3 and 3600.
3 3/36 hundredths? And how many kilograms of oranges did Hannah have? 2 and?
28
Hundredths. Thank you. Okay, let's draw base 10 blocks. How many flats do I need to draw? 3 flats. How many tenths? And how many hundredths? Oops. Okay, so now I need to take away 2 flats. I need to take away 2 tenths. And I need to take away 8 hundredths. Uh-oh, I don't have 8 hundredths. What do I need to do, Joseph?
You can make the 10 into
Yeah, I can make the 10 into 10 hundredths. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And when I do that, Joseph, what's that called? Regrouping, yeah. So I can regroup 1/10 for 10 hundredths. And now I can take away 8 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, how many ones do I have left?
What?
I only need to cross out 8. Oh, Miss O, always making mistakes. So instead what I'll do is I'll just draw 2 more. Right? Okay. How many ones do I have? 1. How many tenths do I have? Okay, so I won't write anything. How many hundredths do I have?
No.
But I don't have any.
We have 8. No, that would be 8 tenths, not 800.
So Divina and Zara, you guys are telling me, even though I don't have any tenths left, I still need to put the 0 here to hold the tenths place so that the 8 is truly in the hundredths place. Oh, I see. You guys are good teachers. Since 1 and 8 hundredths is close to 1, the answer is reasonable. Now, you're right. We can use drawing a quick picture to check our answer. Is there any other way we can check our answer to be truly 100% confident? Clarissa?
The smaller number in the subtraction problem, so in this problem, 2
Yeah?
and 28 hundredths, you have to add 2 and 28 hundredths to 1 and 8 hundredths.
So I can use addition to check my answer? Is that what you're trying to tell me? How come I can use addition to check my answer? Since subtraction and addition are inverse operations, you can check subtraction by adding. Okay? So let's try this problem. 14 and 2 tenths minus 8 and 63 hundredths. We can find the difference by subtracting. Do I need to add any zeros here? Ariel, where do I need to add a 0?
Well, to make it easier, you need to add a 0 after the 2.
If I add a 0 after the 2 into the hundredths place, does that change the value?
No.
Nope, 14 and 20 hundredths is the same as 14 and 2 tenths. And you were writing this problem in your notebook so that you can practice solving it, yes? But adding that 0 will make all of my numbers have the same amount of place values, which makes it easier to subtract. So go ahead and do this subtraction problem in your notebook. So when I do the subtraction, 14 and 20 hundredths minus 8 and 63 hundredths, I get 5 and 57 hundredths. Let's check our answer by using the inverse operation of addition. If I can add the difference to the number that I subtracted, if my sum matches the number I subtracted from, then my answer is correct. So what is the difference? What did we find is the difference? Karan? 5 and 5 and 57 hundredths plus the number I subtracted, which was 8 and 63 hundredths. And let's add those together. 7 plus 3? 10. 1 plus 5 plus 6? 12, right? 5 plus 1 plus 8? 14. 14 and 20 hundredths. Is that the number that I originally subtracted from? Yes. Therefore, check. I know that my answer is correct.